Alright guys, doing another video. So all these videos are coming off from I'm watching the video and then I'm thinking, oh, I should do a video on this. So the last video that I did was on why I'm not sold out on somebody paying cash for their truck. I want to say this though, which I probably should have said in the other video, is the 5 trucks that I have, I own all of them outright except for one, and the one is financed through the guy that I bought it from. So I basically took over his payments on that truck. And I could just buy it outright, but there's no point really. It's not going to save me any money by doing that. So I'm telling you that because I think that I'm not trying to be contradicting, but I just want to be, what is that? What would the word be? I want to be transparent with where I'm at here. Okay? So if you want to learn about business and investing, I can't stress it enough. I have bought this book for so many people, and not too many of them have read it. But it's Rich Dad Poor Dad. That's the first fundamental book that you need, and it could be like the last book you need. But I read that book all the time. My dad gave it to me, and that was the first book I read. I tell you this all the time, but like I continue to read and I continue to learn things in it. And then some of the latest books that Robert Kiyosaki's put out, the one was called Why the Rich Keep Getting Richer, and then the latest book he put out is Fake. And it's interesting with the book Fake how he says there's fake assets, there's fake teachers that you got to look out for. So you got to look out for fake assets, fake teachers, and there's fake money, basically. And basically a fake teacher is somebody that's teaching you something that has no right teaching you about it, right? And then fake assets would be like things that aren't backed, that aren't real. And then he says like real estate is real and it's got real in it, you know. But anyways, it's something that you can see and touch, whereas you invest in like the stock market and it could be gone overnight and there's nothing. It's just like vanished, right? That's kind of his opinion on it. And then fake money would be like cash. He feels like that's fake, and equity, that's fake because it could go away, or cash could become not worth anything, which is the reason why owning things that produce cash are so important, like trucks and trailers. So like because cash isn't worth, if cash is trash, like if cash ends up going to, like, what would that be? Like if it's hyperinflated, if the things get hyperinflated, I don't know which one is which, but I know what I'm talking about. But if cash becomes worth nothing, then the price to buy something that normally costs like $20,000 might cost $200,000, right? So then let's say that's a $20,000 truck. Now it costs $200,000 because the money is diluted that much. Well, then you in theory could charge, instead of $100 an hour, you could charge $1,000 an hour. So you are still kind of safe. But then all of your equipment now is worth more. So that would be like a real asset, is kind of the idea behind it. But what's interesting is once you, so like I'm in a place where I have some money, like quite a bit, and it becomes of what I'm kind of coming to the realization of is like everybody, everybody has been programmed to basically say, we'll save your money and stuff like that, where Robert Kiyosaki says you can't save your money because then savers are losers, basically, right? So I feel like you can save it to buy another investment, but the more that I learn in my journey of running a business is I find out that really cash is not important I mean, you need some cash, but you get to the point where you can do anything without it. Which is kind of a weird statement, but where I guess what I want to talk about is in the book Why the Rich Get Richer, he talks about two terms that I had never heard of before. I wrote them down, I know them. So the one is called an infinite return, and the other is called phantom income. Okay, so infinite return and phantom income. And he says that, so this is different than a business owner, but he says that an investor, a professional investor knows how to get an infinite return. So Adam, my mentor Adam, right? So he runs a business as like an investment because it's a fairly passive stream of income for him at this point, because he has about 20 trucks on the road, and of the 20 trucks, he's got a manager that manages things, and he really has quite a bit of time. And if he wanted to hire somebody else to give him even more time, or give somebody a raise and give them more responsibility, he could, right? So it's fairly passive. Now, one of the things that he's been liking to do within the last couple of years here is he likes to lease trucks. So right now he does a job that he uses the client's trailer for free. He puts a driver in a leased truck. The leased truck is like $3,000 a month. The job pays $1,000, $1,050 a day. So let's just say that he had a perfect month, right? And I'm going by the month with this deal. So client's trailer, so no investment. Then he's got a rental truck. It costs $3,000 a month. The interesting thing about, and that's not an exact number on the rental truck. It might be $4,000. It might be $3,500. It's between $3,000 and $4,000, right? So what's interesting about rental trucks, which is really cool, is you pay for the rental at the end of the month. So you work the full month, so you can basically fund the truck with the money that you've already made from the client, which is, pretty tremendous. So basically he's got $4,000, let's go on the high end, $4,000 that he has to pay at the end of the month. He's using the client's trailer, and then he puts a driver in there. So if the driver does $1,050 for the month, and he works 5 days a week, So what would that be? 10 days, it'd be 10,000. So in 10 days, the Adam would have grossed 10,500. And then, so there's 20 working days in a general 20 working days in a month. So he'd be at $21,000. So he's got an account that pays $21,000 a month. Where are his where are his upfront costs? He has no trailer. He pays $4,000 out of the $21,000 at the end of the month. And then the insurance, that I don't know if that would be an upfront or not. At this, like when you first get started, you pay in advance for and stuff, but I don't know now, like once you get going, if it's at the end of the month or I don't know. But the idea behind it is that takes knowledge to be able to do stuff like that, and that's the reason why knowledge is so important. So what Robert Kiyosaki talks about is if you are an investor and you can start doing things like that, then you're damn good at what you're doing. Okay? So that would be called an infinite return, because he's got no money into it and he's making crazy amounts of money every single month. Okay? So get excited about that term, infinite return. And then so that's important, because you can't, think of it, it's infinite. So that's why it could, that's just amazing. What if you wanted to expand, and then you just get into that with no money out of your own pocket, and it just ends up costing you. So that's the reason why at some point you're kind of like, well, what is, and then your fuel, you can put that on a credit card and you can pay for it at the end of the month. Once, the one thing is that is the client 30 days out on pay? Because if that's the case, then you might have a problem. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, you don't need money in your pocket to do this. You need the knowledge to do it. And that's, I don't know. It's just exciting. That's why trucking it's very exciting. A lot of people are down on trucking, but it's incredible. So then, if you want to take that to the next level, Robert Kiyosaki talks about something that's called phantom income. Now, what phantom income is when you own an asset and basically it appreciates. I'm not going to draw out the video. So that would be like real estate. So you basically, I think is that all it is? A fancy word for appreciation. I don't know. Maybe that's all it was a fancy word for appreciation. I don't have the book here in front of me, guys. I'm just sitting here milking the clock here, doing some videos for you guys. So, I can't stress it enough. If you guys aren't happy with where you are in life and you would like more out of life financially, to read or get the book on tape or YouTube it, because you can listen to it for free on YouTube. Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki.